Kia ora te whānau, no mai hoki mai. Now, one of the most important things about crypto is creating a backup. Oh shit, heartburn. Now there are several. Oh shit. Shit. Okay, look, I'm being serious. This can happen to anyone. I mean, you can just have a heart attack. You can have a car accident. You can do whatever. Anything can happen to you at any time. We just don't know. So, what's going to happen to your crypto? I mean, if you've got all this crypto in your wallet, and then all of a sudden you cark it, you die. Where's this crypto going to go? So, look, I don't know of any real decent solutions that are 100% decentralized. Okay, this is the problem. And if you want to set up like a will and bequeath your, crypto, it costs a lot of money to do it. All right, lawyers and all sorts of carry on. And even then, you've got to rely on, centralized associations to do it. And even just a pure backup. Like if you've got a wallet that, you are, let's say, for example, you're a trader or whatever, and you've got a specific wallet that you hold a ton of USDC or USDT in, anything could happen. If you haven't got that wallet backed up correctly, and you lose access to it or you die, and then it's, doesn't get given to your family or whoever, that's a real issue. That is a real problem. So I think, having a solution where you can, back up your wallet and have it, backed up in a sense that it's 100% decentralized, I think that would be awesome. And there is a solution. Now, I had a Zoom with the CEO of this company a couple of months ago, actually, and it was actually through Tangem, one of the team members of Tangem that I met the CEO, and Camille, and it's an incredible project. And back then, he told me all about the project. There was one issue that I wasn't sort of impressed with, and that was the fact that the way the smart contract worked, to execute the backup needed to be done by the actual company on that date. Now I'm going to tell you how this works in a second, but just bear with me for a second. So what I proposed to him was create a closed loop, decentralized closed loop, so that regardless of how the system is in place, it will always be a decentralized loop. Okay, so this was a couple of months ago. So just recently, he came back to me and he says, we've created the solution for that, and the project's been audited by Certec, which, if you know anything about crypto, that is the leader in auditing contracts. And this contract is pristine, and it's an amazing solution to a real big problem. All right. So let's have a look on the screen. I'm going to walk you through this, and I'm going to actually do one. And now look, this is not referral based. I don't get anything out of this. I said to Camille in the very beginning, I said, the only thing I want from you is access to your developers. So if I ever do a project, I might get help with it. Okay, so that's all I wanted. But they've been kind enough to give us, he's been kind enough to give us a discount for this channel, okay, which is really cool. Okay, so if you look on the screen here, you can see that it's on-chain backup and will for crypto, all right? So you are killing two birds with one stone. You are solving two problems, okay? Backing up your crypto, having a backup, and a will. You can bequeath your asset, okay, your assets. So this is vital, okay? So this is why I want to present this project to you. So the way that this works, you can see here the problem. Look, the problem is that people lose. I've lost crypto, especially when I first started. People lose crypto all the time, okay? So it's important. As you can see here, it's been recognized even by the media, all right, that people lose their crypto. So this is the main page, and this is where you start. Now I'm going to walk you through this, and I'm just going to talk about it along the way, okay? So let's click on this. So this is the page you'll come to. I'm going to click on this one because you haven't got an account yet, so I'm going to walk you through it, okay, and explain it as we go. All right, so create in 3 minutes. It's not going to be 3 minutes because I'm going to explain it all, but here we go. Create in 3 minutes. So the receiver, this is the person that you want, or the wallet address that you want the backup to go to. Okay, so in my case, it's going to be my son's account. Okay, so I'm just going to pull this across here, just and have this here while I'm doing this. So this is my son's wallet. Okay. Now the thing is that I've already told him that this is going to happen. So this wallet is safe, it's secure, and it doesn't need to be accessed at the moment. Okay. So he is going to be the receiver. So I'm going to put his name in there. Okay, and then I'm going to put the receiver address, which is his address, and I'm going to put it in there. Okay, so now this can be any address. This can be your own backup address. You could get a Tangent wallet, all right? You can put it in a safe, in a safety deposit box, or you could just get a bit of paper with a private key on it, as long as you've got the private key for that wallet. Okay, it's got to be ERC20. Okay, so next step. Let's work through the next step. So this is the amount and also the token, because this is token specific. Because they've done surveys on this, 80%, with anyone that owns crypto, 80% is in one token. Okay. So now if you're a trader, if you're doing most things, you always go back and put crypto back into fiat. I mean into a stable coin. Sorry, not fiat, that's blasphemy in crypto. Into a stable coin, okay, because it's just with market conditions. But whatever you're strong and whatever you believe in, it can be Bitcoin, because on Ethereum you can wrap it, and it can be wrapped Bitcoin, okay? But whatever the token is, whatever you're strong and whatever your real digital asset is that you think you're going to have a lot of, or you have a lot of, and you want to protect, this is the one you choose. So if we click on this, there is a lot of different ones, okay? You've got WETH, which is just wrapped ETH, okay? Wrapped Bitcoin, USDC, USDT, okay? And then a few others. You've got Matic, okay? SHIB. Look, there's a lot, and there's going to be a lot more added, all right? But right now, I'm going to choose USDC, okay? Because that's the amount, that's the one that I'm going to want to go to, if something happens to me, because that represents, $1, okay? So, and also Bitcoin, so wrapped Bitcoin. So I'll be doing 2 contracts. But this one here, so now the way that this works is that you want to put a massive amount in, because if you want everything to, execute and go to that backup, then you want to make sure that you put in a very high amount so it takes the full amount that's currently in the wallet. Okay, so in here I'm going to put 100 million. Okay, so I know that there won't be 100 million in there, or there could be, but hopefully there is. But that's a really good number. I mean, you could put 1 billion. But then whatever is under that amount, it will put into the backup address at the particular time. Okay, so I've chosen USDC. I'll put in that amount. So that's how much it's going to take out, and anything under it in that token. All right, from that address that I'm going to stipulate. All right, so it'll take this from my address that I'm going to stipulate, and it will send it to my son's account or my backup. Okay, the receiver address. Okay, next step, automated execution. Now, this is vital. Automated execution if your wallet has been inactive. So, let's say, for example, after 1 year, your wallet hasn't had any transactions in or transactions out. Okay, you can tick this, and I'll choose 1 year. And what will happen is, if after 1 year, the smart contract recognizes that there's been no, this is for a year, for a full year of inactivity. It could be any year, but any year that there is no transactions in or out, so it's basically the wallet's been dead for a year, it will automate it, and it will send it to that backup, to that receiver's address. Okay, so it's a really good safeguard. Now this one, you don't have to have this, but I like the idea. So you can have both. All right, now this one here is the actual execution date. So let's say, for example, you want to make sure that, if you do think, maybe you could be a bit older. Look, 10 years is a good time frame. Who knows? In 10 years, what could happen, right? But at least you're giving yourself 10 years, because you can cancel this at any time. So, or you can execute yourself the mechanism that sends it to that receiver's address whenever you want, okay? So, I think 2030 is probably a good idea for me, just to put in there, just in case something happens, all right? So I'm going to put in, 08 16 2030, all right? So what's going to happen is on the 16th of August 2030, this contract's going to execute, and it's going to take $100 million worth of USDC from that wallet, and it's going to send it to that receiver's wallet. Okay, So that's what's going to happen. However, if there is a year somewhere in that period, there's 1 year where there's no transactions coming in and out, which means something's happened and the wallet's obviously not being used, it will also execute and send it to that receiver's address. Okay? Right, next step, decentralized execution. Now this is the part that I was talking about when I talked about this, spending time with the CEO, and that they didn't have in the beginning, but after talking with him, they've implemented it now. This is why this is such a crucial project, and this is the solution that you want for a backup. Okay? So next step, decentralized execution. So this here, you can have two executors, meaning you can have two people. It could be your best friend. It could be one of your family members. Okay, two people that you trust, that you stipulate their wallet address. So in this case, I've got friend one. I'm going to copy it. Okay, I'm going to put it in here. That's their wallet address, all right? That's their main wallet or wallet that they have access to. And this one's the second friend of mine, all right? We're actually a family member. So what will happen? They have the power, all right? They have the power to trigger the backup process. So let's say, for example, that I just drop dead tomorrow, right? They can come in, either owner of these two wallets can come in and trigger that backup, and in 30 days, it'll execute. Okay, and it will all be sent to that receiver's address. I mean, that's just amazing. Because this means that you're not reliant on the company to trigger it, because by default, Tesoro will trigger it at that date in 2030. Okay, on the 16th of August in 2030, Tesoro will do it with their servers by default. But by having two executors in there, it's a decentralized solution, because if, for example, look, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but who knows what can happen. If the company disappeared, right, and then you were left with no one to trigger that backup solution in 2030, well, then you're stuffed, aren't you? You're going to lose everything. But by having these two executors in place, it can be triggered any time. So if anything happens within that 10-year period or to 2030, one of them can execute it, all right? And if it's not executed at that 2030, they can execute it, all right? So this gives the power to you, all right? 100%. And that's what you want, okay? So next step, review. Okay, now, if you'll notice, there's a discount, okay? And that's where my discount code comes in. So if you use the discount code BetterHumans with a Z, it's going to save you, 25%. Okay, which is a big deal. So it's going to cost you 0.07 F to execute this, which, I mean, it's worth it. It doesn't matter which way you look at this. This is worth it. $113 at the moment to back up, your biggest crypto asset. I mean, it's not expensive at all. Okay, so you'll get a discount. So make sure you use that. All you do is you just click on the code, and you just put in the code there, okay? So here you can see, receiver is my son Jaden. Backup address, that's the address that it's going to execute to, that the USDC, $100 million worth or whatever's in there under that, okay? It will all be sent to that address on the 16th of August, 2030, all right? If, for some reason, something happens to me before that, one of these guys, one of my friends, that owns that address can trigger the contract and make sure that backup process goes through within a 30-day period from when they trigger it. It could be in a year from now if something happens. And if for some reason they're not around, they die, well, then you got this one. All right? So you've got two people backup. Now the chances of both of them disappearing are pretty slim. Okay? So this is the decentralized solution. And if they don't, well, what will happen? If they don't, well then Tesoro will do it on that date in 2030. Okay? And there's your backup date. That's when it's going to be executed unless something happens prior. All right? Launch date due to inactivity, 1 year. So in 1 year's time, well, in any 1 year period, if there's no transactions in or out, this execution will happen and the backup address, the 100 million or whatever's in the wallet, and the value to that or under it in USDC will be sent to that backup address. Okay? And that's it. So now we can prepare a backup. Okay, so we click on this. Okay, so now we need to connect to MetaMask. Now what's important to understand is that any wallet that has a private key, okay, this could be Exodus, for example, you can export that private key and you can import it into MetaMask. If you come up to MetaMask and you click on your account, you'll see that you've got that import account option right there. If you click on that, here's the private key. So you can import any private key from any account. If you've got access to the private key, you can import it into MetaMask, okay? And then you can create the backup, and then you can delete it from MetaMask. It's not going to matter. What matters is that you've created that backup for that wallet, and you can continue to use it in Exodus or whatever wallet you use, Trust Wallet, whatever wallet you're using, okay? So now we need to click on Connect MetaMask, all right? So I'm going to choose the correct account, and I've got Tesoro here. I'm going to use this, but it's actually another account, but I want to back it up anyway, okay? So I've chosen this one, so I'm going to go Next, okay, and Connect. Okay, so I'm going to click on Deploy MetaMask, Deploy via MetaMask, right? It's going to open up MetaMask. Now I just need to click on Confirm. Okay, now it's deploying, so it's creating the contract, all right? So as soon as this is done, like it says up here, it takes, it could take 30 seconds, but now it's already been done. So here, I've got USDC, so it's asking me for the spending cap. So I've already put 100 million, right? So you can see that we can just click on Use Default. Now, don't worry about this. It's not going to matter. It will still accept it. Now, my email, I've actually received an email over here, and I'll just show you this. You can see it's got backup created. Okay, so if we click on this, okay, a backup has been created successfully. So I've already received an email saying that it's been created. Okay, so now all I have to do, this is the custom spending cap. Okay, so don't worry about it being in red. It's what I want, 100 million. So I'm going to go Next, okay, and then I'm going to go Approve. All right, now you can see down here it's approving. Okay, and then once this is approved, I'll actually probably get another email, I would say. This shouldn't take too long. Okay. Now, I've already created an account, okay, but when you go through this process, you will actually, it'll prompt you to create an account, okay? And then that's the reason why it's giving me the view in personal account. So I hadn't shown you that in this part of the video because I'd already created an account and done one prior, okay? So now that we can view the contract, okay? And we can also view in personal account, okay? So you can see here, it's loading. You can see I've got two, all right? Because I already created one, all right? I created one for a different wallet. You can see from, these are different wallets, okay? But I use both of these wallets at times, so I just want to back them up anyway, okay? So they're both going to execute at the same date, all right? Now, if I want to execute these myself, okay, I can do that just by clicking Transfer. If I click on Transfer, Confirm Transfer, that is going to execute this from that wallet to the receiver. So I can come in at any time and transfer that. Okay? Now, I wanted to just back up a bit and I wanted to show you that here is the CertiK audit. Okay? So I'm going to leave links for this. All right? I'll leave links for this in the description, but if you want to have a look at it. Okay? Now, this, let me just back up here for 1 minute. If I come back to Tesoro, okay, let me show you this. So let's just come back through these prompts, and I'll come back to the very end here where it says the decentralized execution, because this is an important part. Okay, so if we click on how does it work, all right, we click on this. I wanted to go through the whole process first, and then I want to show you this bit, because this is something that you need to show the two people that you're giving the power to trigger the backup process if you disappear earlier. If I'm gone in 1 year, I want these guys to be able to trigger that, okay? Trigger that backup. So this is where it shows you how to do that. So if you click on tutorial, all right, it's going to take you to this page, all right? And I'll just show you, I'm going to do a slideshow on this just quickly so you can see this. Okay, let me come back up to number 1. Okay, so look, it's very simple, but only if you're into crypto, really, this is probably simple. So the way that this works, and I'm actually hoping that maybe in the future they can create a little app for this or something that would execute, just a little bit easier. Maybe something, it could be a downloadable, I don't know, it might be able to be done in the wallet or something, I don't know. But I mean, really, to be honest, it's not that difficult. So as long as you, follow these instructions. So the two people that execute or can have the power to execute the backup process need to do this. So on Etherscan, they would go to the contract address. Okay, so you'd give them the contract address, okay, for this, and then they'd go to Etherscan and they'd come into this bit here. So they're on the contract, all right, the contract that you created, all right, when you did the backup process. It's on the smart, it's on the blockchain, so it's a contract, a smart contract, all right. So you give them the contract address, which they just put in search and come in here. They can then come to and click on the contract, all right, and then write contract over here, all right. You can see that that's ticked, all right. And then when we come to the next one, they connect to Web3. So basically what that does is when you click on that, is it will prompt this over here, which gives you the option for different wallets. Now, one of these executors might have Tangem. It could be the Tangem wallet address, their Tangem wallet address. Okay, so they'll need to use Wallet Connect, all right, obviously. But if they're just using MetaMask, then they can just click on MetaMask, all right. And then what it'll do is it will ask you to connect, all right. And then once you connect it, it will actually show it here. You can see here it shows connected Web3, okay. And then after that, open change state, which is right here. It's very straightforward. It's look, a child could follow this. It's really easy, okay. And then click on write, okay, and then just basically confirm in whatever wallet that you're using, all right. And then view the transaction, all right. And this is just to make sure that it went through, and it'll show a success here, all right. And then it's execute. And then 30 days after this has been done, it will actually execute the backup, all right. Very simple, not difficult to do at all, okay. So look, it's an incredible solution. It fixes the backup, it fixes the will. If you try and get a will done through crypto, it's going to cost you a fortune with lawyers. It costs you a lot to do a will in general, but with crypto, it's not easy, okay. And the main thing is that this is decentralized, all right, because it's got that closed loop with the executors. So you don't have to rely on any third party. What you do have to rely on is that the two executors, and even if they fail, then Tesoro will do it. But you've got 3 people that can do it, and 2 of them are basically decentralized because they're people that you've instructed and that you're giving the power to do it. And if any time you want to execute it yourself, you can do it yourself from the dashboard or from the contract, just like this, okay. So look, I think it's an incredible solution, and if you've got any smarts, do it. Back up your wallet, make sure that you've got that peace of mind, knowing that if anything happens to you, it's going to go to the right person, to the right place, and just make sure that whoever it's going to, that they're aware, that they know how to do it with their wallet. Man, put a Tangem wallet with a USB stick with a recording of a video or whatever, and put it in a safe and with instructions on how to do it, okay. But just make sure the end result, if it's not for you as a backup, if it's actually for a will, make sure that at the end of the line where it goes to that receive address, make sure that they're aware of how to do it, okay. It's an amazing project, and make sure that you use that discount code. I don't get anything from this. This is not referral based at all. All right, the only thing that I wanted, which is what I asked the CEO, is that I could actually get access to their developers when I'm building my own project. So this is not referral based. This is purely because I think this is absolute a value proposition for you. You need to have it. It's important. It'll solve 2 problems. Get into it. Have yourself a wicked day. Kia kaha.